Welcome back to As the Chakram Turns. I'm Bryn.
I'm Helen.
And today we are going to discuss our... Did you grab the podcast notebook?
It's here. Okay. I got it. It's here.
Season 2. I forget which episode number.
Episode 14?
A Necessary Evil.
Yeah. You didn't put the episode number. Jeez.
I wrote that, I don't know how long. Oh, those are bad scribble scratches.
I mean, it's not like we're showing anybody the scribble scratches.
Well, that's a good thing. We might during one TikTok eventually. If we remember to do the TikToks.
We never do. Alright, so this episode takes place almost directly after the last episode.
Yes.
Almost. I say almost because there's no mention of Autolycus at all.
Well, we did see him leave.
I know,
So,
but he should be still mentioned. And, like,
you would think.
he didn't see Velasca on the way out. Because Velasca walked her half-mutilated dead body back somehow. There's
Well,
no
it
way
looked
that would
quite.
happen.
It looked quite healthy as it walked and stumbled.
I mean, there's just no way. Unless she ate, like, part of the ambrosia before and then, like, healed a little bit and then walked and then... I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense. Sure. I mean, maybe she Tetrised her body so she avoided all the spikes in the fall.
No.
I know. So yes, the only explanation is she had a piece of ambrosia to heal and then took the bigger piece while she was in front of the Amazons going, "Why, you made a mistake having her as your queen."
Yeah, then she takes the ambrosia and just hulks out all the way.
Yeah. Now, my question, because we see when she goes to her goddess form,
Yeah.
her eyes go white.
Yeah.
Is this because she's a god by ambrosia?
I have no idea, but I did it for Callisto too, so maybe.
Because that's just it, right? Because of the other gods that are gods.
Yeah, but they were born gods.
That's just it. They're born gods. So, yeah, that's what, because maybe in other series they would have gods by ambrosia and have their eyes be white. Or once they get used to their powers, they get to have their eye color chosen.
Is there any of that in Hercules? Do you remember at all?
No.
I don't remember either. I can't remember if anybody eats ambrosia. I'm sure they do. I really don't care. I don't know. I don't even think that this is an important step. Like, I don't really know if the iris color is super important about godhood.
It's probably very not. It was just an observation I made, and maybe one of our listeners could tell me otherwise.
Okay. Reaching, but okay. Alright, so she comes in, she does the ambrosia eating, yells at them for picking Gabrielle. Yells at Gabrielle for just existing and being alive. And then, like, starts shooting lightning at everybody. So everybody's jumping out of the way.
Trying to fight her.
But she's not, like, looking for anybody. She's standing in one spot. Everybody's running around her. She's not actually looking.
No, she's just chaotically flinging recklessly lightning bolts.
She has, like, a one-track mind, too. She only wants Gabrielle. Well, okay, not a one. She has, like, a 1.5. Because when Gabrielle runs away, very obviously, she gets very focused on Effany afterwards.
Well, that's just it, because Effany was her main, I guess, antagonist in her viewpoint, because Effany would be like, she beat Melosa in battle. You keep admitting fair battle. Right? So Effany was her next target.
I get it, but at the same point in time, just kill everybody at once. It's easier.
Oh, she doesn't like easy. She likes to have fun and play. And
well, and that's why she ends up the way she ends up. Okay, so she does her power thing, whatever. they go up and they have to figure out what to do. And Xena decides they need an immortal to beat an immortal.
It's true.
So they go off to get Callisto, much to Gabby's dismay. And Callisto is trapped in a cave by Hercules and is immortal for reasons.
She ate the golden apple. That's
Right.
the only thing I remember.
I did not see any of those episodes, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But this all happened on Hercules. But Callisto won't help them unless Xena does the apology thing.
Yes.
So they drag Xena to a town square where she has to, like, apologize for being a warlord.
Or explain, well, when I was a warlord, I attacked this village, blah, 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 blah.
And they also promise her ambrosia, of course.
Yes.
To get her to do it.
She's like, what can you possibly have to, entice me? And it seems like ambrosia. So.
Which works.
It does. I mean, do you want to just be an immortal and live the rest of life? Or do you want to have godlike powers?
And I mean, she did point out that she could just chop Callisto up and leave her that way.
Yeah. Which, once she comes out of the hole,
Yeah.
she does make a point of saying that living as an immortal is boring, but much better than, as a whole body, because she stabbed herself to show that she couldn't be injured.
Yes.
And was left going, see, I'm immune, I heal. Yeah, but I would not be fine in, pieces. That I am not immune to.
Yeah. So there was some ways they got her to do what she wanted to do. First they got her out of the cave.
Yes.
She doesn't really like to be trapped.
No. After, when Xena was giving her heart-to-heart speech in this random little village about Sierra, Gabrielle kept looking at Callisto. And you could see Gabrielle's brain just turning, watching, and being like, she really has to be a good person. There has to be a good person in there somewhere. Oh, the naivety.
Yeah, there's no good person in there.
No.
Nope. No good person. But that's fine. So then they make a plan to go after Velasca and trap her in a cave.
In a rock quarry, it looked like?
It looked like a lot.
Yeah.
Looked like a rock quarry, but I'm not. I mean, I don't know.
I've never been to many rock quarries.
All the while, Velasca is going off on her own little fucking side quest to piss off Artemis. Which, I mean, I think I would have skipped that.
Yes.
Frankly.
Because nothing happened from it.
Well,
there was no
I mean, I think
point.
if Callisto hadn't have been so Callisto, then it probably would have been fine. I don't know. Artemis probably would have come back at some point. But then again, the gods don't really pay attention to the humans that much, which is kind of what I like about this show. It's like they literally are only there to cause havoc. Nothing else.
Yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm. So she goes, she destroys Artemis's temple, has a blast about it.
Kills everybody there.
Yeah.
Self-proclaims herself a god of chaos.
Which is weird because they already got one.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Then we come across the Amazons trying to stall Velasca,
Right.
which was so... I don't know what they were thinking. They're smarter than that.
Are they?
Clearly not. Because basically they just dug a hole, covered it up, put Effany in, this is a tribute to you, Velasca. Here's Effany's head on a platter. Figured you'd like to do the honors. And Velasca steps into the hole.
Yeah.
And then
why wouldn't she just shoot her with a lightning bolt?
It's not as fun for her.
I mean...
She wants the pain.
And this is why she lost. I'm sorry, this is why she lost. She got too fucking sidetracked.
Yeah. So she jumps out of the hole and the Amazons scatter. So that whole stalling for time so they could get Callisto and plan something out was a waste?
No, it wasn't
Really?
a waste because they never really captured. Like, she didn't get the Amazons, and they still got her to the rock quarry to fight Callisto, which they did. And that went about as well as Xena expected it to go. Because Callisto instantly tried to change sides and go with Velasca and make like a partnership with Velasca.
But
Instantly.
Could you imagine the partnership that would have brought? Two gods, Callisto and Velasca.
I think if they had caused too much troubles, the other gods would have just ended them. So I don't really think that Xena was that worried.
And this was the first time that we experienced Gabby having to deal with the grudging villain of our story.
All right.
Because Velasca was just after Gabby. She would have left Xena alone.
I mean, sure. And also, Callisto killed Gabby's husband a little bit.
Yes. But Callisto doesn't care. Gabby's just like bait or, side fun. Callisto's main focus is Xena.
Yeah.
So, as a pair, those two would have gotten rid of the others.
I mean, no, they're both too single-minded. I think that's kind of what they're showing. It's just Velasca was an early version of Callisto, making all those same mistakes of underestimating Xena.
It was a lot of fun to watch Callisto get angry very quickly.
Yeah.
Because as they're in the rock quarry and fighting, she knows the plan of trying to trap Velasca under a pile of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And every time she's like, stop using your powers. They're trying to drain you. Why aren't you listening to me? Felt very mom-daughtery.
Yeah, she's getting frustrated. She's like, I'm trying to make you do it better and you won't listen.
Learn from my mistakes. I've done this already.
But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah.
So, at the end of that, Velasca does get captured under the pile of rocks, but she's still too powerful because the side trips.
Yeah. So they have to come up with another plan that involves lava.
Which is just fun.
Now, before they do the plan, is that where they have the conversation, Gabrielle and Callisto? And Callisto's all like, so, how long did it take your husband to die?
Yeah. Because after they left the rock quarry, they had to travel a bit, and they're at the campfire, and Gabrielle's staring at Callisto. Just staring. And Callisto's like, if cameras were around, she'd be the one to say, take a picture, it'd last longer.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle asks the question if Callisto felt anything while Xena was giving her speech. And Callisto, quite honestly and openly, replies back at how she doesn't feel anything.
Which isn't even true. Like, that's the lie Callisto tells herself.
Yes.
Because it's definitely not true. She definitely feels a lot of things. Or she'd leave Xena and Gabrielle alone. Flat out.
It's true.
She's just lying to herself.
But it's the lie she tells herself to be able to get through everything.
Yeah. So she answers the question for Gabby and then asks Gabby how long it took Perdiccas to die. And then Gabrielle stormed off. And Xena wanted to know why. Callisto was like, we were playing a game and she's not very good at it. Which is one of the best lines ever.
You've used that line.
I've had creative inspiration.
But watching Xena come back with like the firewood and Gabrielle storm off. Her look on her face, being like, "What'd you do to my girlfriend?" Like, dude.
Yeah, she was just annoyed. She wasn't even angry.
Well, because right away she knew that this would not be a good time.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way having your husband's murderer be around is going to be a joyful time. Let's have fun.
I mean, I guess it really depends on your relationship with your husband.
Well, we are still to believe that Gabrielle romantically loved Perdiccas.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
But that's when we learn about the plan, about a rope bridge.
Right, the rope
Lots
bridge.
of rope bridges.
This is literally a rope bridge. And what? It's not even like an action. Why would these bridges exist? This bridge looks...
To get to the other side?
No, I will not accept that as an answer. This is literally a rope. Like somebody's tight-roped along. That's not a bridge. That's just like a safety hazard.
Was there much safety concerns?
I mean, there was enough safety concerns that they put in a handrail. If you're going to put in a handrail, do the extra work to put in the planks of wood and another rope, maybe. No,
maybe they didn't have that available to them.
No, not an excuse. Because there was actually a wooden bridge there, too. So there was just no reason. Just make another wooden bridge. Stupid. I don't like the bridge. It's a dumb bridge.
It is a dumb bridge. It's a bridge that we would never cross.
It's a bridge that no one would cross.
And
it's
yet
basically a clothesline. Ridiculous.
You're not wrong. It was thicker than a clothesline, at least.
They stuck Gabrielle out on it because Gabrielle's super good at holding on to stuff.
How did she get there again?
She walked out there. Excuse me. Or no, she didn't even get to the bridge. Velasquez threw her on the bridge or something
Right.
like that.
Because we learn about the whole rope bridge plan, and Callisto is having way too much fun saying, "Your little friend's the bait. She's only after your little friend. We should just put her out."
And then they did.
And Gabby's like, "If I have to die for this to happen," and Xena gets angry at that one. It's like, "No,
Yes,
you are
like,
not."
I just came back from the dead for you. What the fuck? Just try to stay alive for a little while. Just try.
So, a battle ensues. Velasca with her whirlwind.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the tornado gods. It's weird.
With the Wonder Woman spin.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's fine. So they do the battle. Callisto's only goal is to try and get the ambrosia from Velasca so she can take it herself, which she does easily. Considering Velasca's a god, she's not a very good one.
No.
And then we have God Callisto. They can't see my smile.
They can't.
That's okay. Here Comes Trouble leads to one of my other most famously loved Xena quotes. So it's fine.
You use that quote a lot too. Anyways.
Yeah.
So they have their battle. They're fighting. Gabrielle's holding on to dear life on this tiny rope bridge. Xena cuts the safety handrail
Just
to
one.
have them.
She just cut one, and the gods go tumbling into the lava, and they're gone. And she gets Gabrielle, and everybody's happy. And
By launching herself. She ties the rope around herself and
I'm aware.
launches herself to get Gabby.
I'm aware.
It's like there's this was not a well thought out plan.
It was not.
I came to expect more from Xena.
Really?
No.
She already had a good plan, and it got botched. Because Callisto made her take a side trip.
That's true. That's true.
Like, she had a better plan. This wasn't a bad plan. It just wasn't like... I mean, what other plans are there? I don't know. Call Hercules. Hercules, where do we get a blade to kill a god? I'm gonna need it next season, but can I have this season early? Would really save me some time.
Because whatever happened to the dagger of Helios? We don't even know, do we? It just
It
disappeared.
comes back. It is used to get rid of the god it created. However, it has to go through some trials first, because it does a lot of stuff on Hercules. Because it gets the blood from the hind's blood on it. It gets the hind's blood. That's what we're looking for. And, and Hercules stashes it for
In
a
a
later
temple.
date. And then Xena gets it at that later date.
Oh, right. Right. That's a fun episode.
It's not a fun episode, it's a trauma episode, but we will be okay.
We've watched these so many times. We're going to be okay.
I don't know, you almost had a meltdown the other day.
That's true. We'll eventually be okay. But as Xena and Gabrielle are looking down at this lava river that those gods have tumbled themselves into, Gabby asks Xena the big question of, do you think that she's a good person?
And Xena says no.
I looked at her incredulously
She
too.
looked at-
Like, what are you on?
Yeah, and Gabrielle's like, I have to believe she's a good person. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that's a change, but sure. Because that's not something that comes up again. I mean, she just doesn't... What happens to that in Callisto's later appearances? Spoiler alert. This 25-year-old show.
I don't recall her ever bringing up Perdiccas again, though.
She does, but very rarely. Like, I know for a fact Perdiccas comes up again in Warrior Priestess Tramp. Because they have a discussion around the fireplace about having sex. So it comes up there. He comes up there. He comes up briefly. I know she discusses it in the season 5 premiere episode when they've got to do the fire and the walking and her trial is to forgive Callisto. That's why when she says these things at season 2, I can think ahead to season 5 and be like, sus. Sus. It's just sus. Sorry. Mind you, season 5, there's a lot more incidences. Like, Callisto's done a lot more damage.
just a tad. However, it is one of those things where I'm glad we're doing a mostly watch through, because I don't remember the chronological events as well as you do with your brain.
My brain is good at time.
Yes, it is. Which is why when time things come up, I just agree with you, because I've always been proven wrong.
Not always. Not always. Don't give me that much power.
About time things, normally.
We didn't write down the disclaimer at the end.
I have it.
Oh. Brain's got it.
The reputation of the Amazon nation was not harmed despite Velasquez's overly radical adherence to an otherwise valid belief system.
I mean, that's a weird way of saying she's definitely crazy, but we're okay with it.
During
What?
the looking into the wiki
Yeah.
prior to, the quote from Hudson about this particular episode. I really loved torturing Gabrielle. I was reading the part where we're sitting around and she's like, what were you thinking when Xena was saying all this? I laughed out loud and read that part. I thought that was so funny how Callisto turned the tables on Gabrielle. She was so serious. And then Callisto's just so slick. I love her. You know, because Gabrielle's like this serious, really earthy character trying to be kind, good, and loving. And Callisto's like, yeah, how about some of this? And it speaks volumes about how the actors love the characters as much as they did. Which I think really helped with how they were able to portray them and make them be so memorable and holding up 20-some years later. What are you giggling at?
One of the things you wrote down was two girls rolling around on the ground with a stick between them.
Oh my god!
And I know what scene that is. I just didn't think it needed to be written down.
It was funny to me. But during the rewatch, okay, we are going to have to do a TikTok about this one. Find that one scene where Velasquez doing a whirlwind. And they're like, no, we are being pulled in. This is not good. Which is where Gabby and Xena are rolling around on the ground with a stick between them trying to stop themselves.
Yeah.
But we get an overhead pan view of the whole scene. And it's Gabby's completely still.
Everything is completely still. It's almost like it's a still shot.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to all the chaos. And it's like, you guys, you could have shown the wind showing even from the sky. Gabrielle could have been wiggling around even from the sky. Like, this is a really weird shot. And it's like one of those moments that TikTok, what brought you right out of it? That brought me right out of it. I'm like, what was that?
Watching the show, everything like that, I was like, oh yeah, this is intense. This is what the frack. And she died laughing to the point she had to rewind it to make sure that's what she saw.
It was what I saw.
Yeah, it was, because it was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Overall, I don't know, I'm going to put this at like a 6.5.
Okay, yep. Definitely. Especially coming from last episode.
Yeah, it was a little more bland than I remembered. While Hudson is good, and Melinda played up to Hudson really well, I just think the storyline was kind of like, I didn't understand Velasquez's point.
Well, we might have had more into this, because apparently this was supposed to be like the 19th episode.
Oh.
But Lucy went and hurt herself. So they had to push things further along to be like, okay, ha!
I'm fine. Like, I didn't understand why she would have, I didn't understand her motivations enough to buy the premise. You know?
We might have had more into that had they had the chance.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I just didn't understand. I saw that kind of left it for me. Melinda Clarke tried really, really hard to match Hudson's energy. She didn't succeed, but I'm going to give her props for it.
Yeah, the attempt was there, and
she's just came across as a little theater school. As somebody who was a theater kid, I could see myself giving that performance. So it's not an insult, 100%. It's just Hudson's hard to go against. Like, even Lucy said that.
Yeah.
Because she owns Callisto in every way.
Yes.
And the difference is I think, at that time, because Melinda Clarke wasn't as popular then as she is now, even. So this must have been probably one of her first acting roles. And to go up against Hudson and Lucy, because Lucy's had a lot more experience. Lucy can hold her own against Hudson. She just went so hard. She just went so hard. It's worth watching.
Yes.
She's definitely very, very good and a lot more subdued in the quest. But if you want to see Melinda Clarke just go off the rails, watch Necessary Evil. That's a good time. I love her so much. We are not sure what the next episode is. It's supposed to be a day in the life, but we're not sure if that's going to be a podcastable episode. So we'll wait and see. If not, I do know The Dead is coming up soon, parts 1 and 2, and then we've got all the trauma of recovering from that. But I like the stories that take place in Shin. So.
Yes. They're fun.
Yes. I don't know how respectful they are, so there's that, but I do enjoy them either way.
Yeah. It's good to get some backstory, too.
I enjoy the backstory.
So, yes, so 6.5 respectively. Worth the watch, definitely to be able to know what happens. And you can certainly reach us at astheshockreturns@gmail.com. You can find us on our TikTok as the Shock Returns.
On the clock app, as the children say.
I don't think the children say it. We don't follow any children.
Yeah, my daughter's on TikTok. She is a child.
Okay. Never comes up on my page.
Well, no, I would hope not.
And where else are we? Instagram. We're on Instagram.
Just do Instagram and TikTok. Leave the rest of them alone. We're working on it. Even Instagram and TikTok need some therapy. Hopefully
Work on
soon. All right, thanks so much.
Have a great one.